Good afternoon, villagers.
Hello. Hi, Mike.
I see Mike and I see Richard, the Orlando guy, in there. How are you doing?
See, everybody, my hair's coming out in clumps. I'm stressed out over all of this.
It's been
horrible.
It's been a quiet day here at the villa. Just doing a little research. Danny
Hi,
and
Danny.
Clay. Hello, Danny.
Give me a call a little bit later.
Yeah, Doug is going to be working on some invitations.
Yeah.
Hope everyone's having a good day. We're staying inside the house as much as possible today.
Yeah.
We went out briefly last night and found some Mickey Mouse ice cream
Juan,
sandwiches.
Samantha.
Oh, Juan
Yeah,
Rodriguez. Hi, Sam. How
I don't
are
have
you?
the box for it, but yeah.
Samantha, we finally saw Frozen 2 yesterday.
I liked it.
So I love the line, Samantha? I loved that line. I was laughing so hard.
That was cute. Yeah, call me right after all the shenanigans after the stream.
Wonderful.
Mike.
It's great to have everyone here.
I really, really like Frozen.
We loved it. We liked it more than the first one.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful surprise. I have an article here. I'm going to go ahead and start reading that article here. It comes from, I forgot the news source that I got it. It was like the Washington Post.
I thought it was Variety.
Variety.
I got my information from Variety.
Yeah, it was one of those publications. Hey, Tony.
Fantastic.
How you doing? Phantasmic Chronicles. Martine says hi as well. Hi, Martine. Good to see you.
Hi, everybody.
So Disney's early release of Frozen 2 and Star Wars Rise of Skywalker is a clever distraction from bad news. The article goes on to read, Frozen 2 goes to Disney Plus months ahead of schedule, while Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker goes on sale days early, both of which allow Disney to distract the media, play the hero, and further highlight Disney Plus. Walt Disney has dropped the blockbuster Frozen 2 onto their streaming service just weeks after debuting on electronic sell-through and video-on-demand platforms, as well as physical formats like DVD and Blu-ray. It was not supposed to premiere on Disney Plus until June, but the Mouse House announced with much fanfare that it would drop the title on the service this morning, 1 week shy of the film's November 22nd, just 1 week shy of the film's theatrical opening day. I think they meant some kind of other anniversary. Hi, Ben.
I have no idea.
Yeah, but it was just a few months that was in the theater. It's amazing. So it was 4 months ago that it was in theaters, and now it's already on Disney Plus. It made $1 bazillion opening weekend, just killed, and then it earned almost $500 million in domestic sales. It earned $130 million during its debut weekend. So that was a lot of money. Hey, Keystone, thank you for joining. Good to have you. And then, of course, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker opened in theaters 3 months ago, this coming Thursday, and that earned $515 million domestic, earned over $1 billion worldwide. And the Last Jedi had done similar numbers. That debuted on digital high def on March 17th, 2018. Okay. So it was the same kind of release schedule for that. However, they dropped it a few days earlier to help people cope with this weekend of bad news, because everywhere you turned, it was bad news. So Disney comes to the rescue with great news. And even right now, we have some people that are walking around Magic Kingdom and other parks at Walt Disney World for the last day for a couple weeks at least.
Yeah.
The website claims that the parks will be reopening on April 1st. Right now, the calendars have that scheduled, but of course, it is a fluid situation, so we're not sure if it's definitely going to happen on April 1st. But let's go ahead and get started with some Disney history. 1975.
Not much happened today, really.
Yeah, not in history. That's why I only went back to 1975. On this day, the revised film of America the Beautiful opened in Circle Vision in Tomorrowland. So at Walt Disney World, they had been running for a year a movie called Magic Carpet Round the World. And the original America the Beautiful was shot in Circarama for the 1958 World's Fair in Brussels. It debuted at Disneyland in 1960. And then with the revamp of Tomorrowland at Disneyland. They reshot it in just using 9 cameras for Circle Vision 360. Pam's fam.
Yeah, Pam's
Doug
here.
said hi. I want to
did
say
say
hi
hi.
too. How you doing? Great to see you. So yeah, it was shot, but when the film was taken away for a year in Florida, and they did this movie called Magic Carpet Around the World. But when they brought it back on this day in 1975, it included some updated scenes that showed Philadelphia for the upcoming American Bicentennial in '76.
Mm-hmm.
That was also, I'm sure the film did that at Disneyland as well. They also had America Sings playing in Tomorrowland. So Disneyland was ready for
Mr.
the Bicentennial.
Sunshine's here. Hi, Jim.
Hello, Jim. Season's greetings, Jim.
Yeah.
Jim, by the way, wonderful look of pie. It looked like you had some delicious pie yesterday. It was Pie Day. And we dropped a video yesterday, or actually, yeah, last night I edited a video, and this morning it premiered. It was our adventure of Pie Day. So if you have not checked it out yet, please do so and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the video. We had a lot of fun with Pie Day yesterday. Pizza and, of course, pie from Nations.
Literally, we had 2 types of pie.
Yeah. 1991. I did a thumbnail. I did a thumbnail for this broadcast, and I posted it on Instagram and Twitter. And it shows the Disney Afternoon Avenue. And for those of you, Ben, I like that slice of pie. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but Disneyland had something called Afternoon Avenue, and the Afternoon Avenue was the area between the Matterhorn and It's a Small World, and that whole area was encompassed with celebrating the Disney Afternoon, which had just gone live earlier, a few months prior in 1990. They had cartoons like The Gummy Bears, DuckTales, Tailspin, and Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers. And Tailspin was the new cartoon that year, and they made a big deal about it. They had a show at the Fantasyland Theater, which at that time was called Videopolis. They also had this wonderful thing called a meet and greet. Now, there had never been anything like this before. The Imagineers were experimenting with an idea of meet and greet at Disneyland. So they built an area backstage where you could go and visit Baloo.
That's cute.
And they set it up so that guests could stand in line, and park guests were able to meet Baloo in person backstage in his dressing room. It was an early concept to see how Mickey's Movie Barn at Mickey's Toontown would work. It was a phenomenal success, so they moved forward with it. And shortly after that, plans were announced that they were going to build Toontown. And at that time, Toontown started construction in '92, I believe it was. No, 6 months later. Sorry, 6 months later. So later on in the year, 6 months after the experiment, they started the plans of building Toontown. And then it opened in 1993.
Yeah.
It was amazingly fast.
Of Roger Rabbit, but also because of this.
But that experiment worked. And so you were able to meet So you were able to meet Baloo, you could meet Chip and Dale, you were also able to meet Launchpad McQuack backstage. I remember seeing Afternoon Avenue and meeting Baloo backstage. So I was there in '91 during that time. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed it. 2001. So 10 years later, in 2001, Disneyland officially welcomed their 450 millionth guest to go through the turnstile. And for this time, it was a first-time visitor to Mark Ramirez of Texas. He was a civilian production management specialist for the U.S. Air Force. He was there with his wife and 3 daughters. They were honored in a ceremony where he was presented with a lifetime pass to the Disneyland Resort. And then also got a stay at the Grand Californian, which had just opened like 2 months prior.
Right.
And then they also got to change the sign on the train station. They always have a population sign right there on the train station. At that time, it said 400 million. He was able to change it to 450 million.
Is it $500 million already?
It's over $500 million now. So
yeah, we just did our closets, and it was about 3 weeks. It took 3 weekends. It took us, but we did it. We found some treasures, but we did do a great purge though.
When Doug says treasures, he means we've got things for show and tell. So we're going to be doing another show and tell coming up on PTV Live soon. So be paying attention for that announcement. We'll be doing show and tell. Okay. In 2005, now this attraction had already been open a couple of days at Typhoon Lagoon, but the Crush and Gusher water coaster was officially opened on this day in 2005 with its grand opening. I've never been to Typhoon Lagoon. I've only been to Blizzard Beach. You haven't been to any of the water parks, have you?
No, I've never been to any of the water parks because it's not my thing. Plus, it capitalizes too much of time where I'd rather use it because when you go to Walt Disney World, you can't do it all. So water parks has least on it. I own too much stuff and I just need to get rid of it because it just sits and it's driving me crazy trying to clean around it. Yeah, it's organizing it. And there's collection and then there's just how much crap do you really need? Oh,
question. Gusher's a cool roller coaster water slide.
Okay.
The Crush and Gusher.
Crush and Gusher. Okay.
Yeah. That's cool. I haven't been on it, Mike, but I'll tell you, I would do it because I like water parks. I've had a lot of fun with them.
I don't mind water parks. It's just I get burnt too fast. Too much water and chemicals. I get chemical burns. I'm fragile.
He is. I mean, he puts
can't walk barefoot.
He puts his hand on his neck like this and just scratches, and you'll see red marks on his skin.
Tired of getting wet.
He is fragile. And
water parks.
Yeah. And then finally in the news today, of course, for today, Walt Disney theme parks in Florida and Paris. Today is the last day that they will be open for a couple of weeks. Hey, Leanne, thank you for joining the stream. The hotels, retail, and dining complexes will remain open. Cast members will be paid during the closure period. So that's a good thing. Also, one thing to consider about having a theme park and the resorts and everything, a lot of food is served at Disneyland. And the thing is that, Nebel, welcome to the stream, Nebel. Good to see you. So Walt Disney World has a lot of food that they have in their kitchens. It's going to spoil if they don't get rid of it. So they're not just getting rid of it. No. They're donating the excess food to the Second Harvest Food Bank during this closure. There's a lot of food.
So much food they have to get rid of. And the great thing about the Second Harvest Food Bank, that they're like the main depository where then this goes down to homeless shelters, to senior centers, the places that would really rely on a lot of donations.
Yeah, women's shelters, things like that.
So the good thing about all of this is that the massive amount of food that's being donated, I mean, we're talking massive semis amount of food is going to go all over.
Walt Disney World, this is from Disney Parks blog, Walt Disney World Resort will donate excess food inventory like fresh salads, greens, and expertly cooked hot items to the Second Harvest Food Bank of Central Florida as part of the ongoing Disney Harvest program. Launched in 1991, Disney Harvest collects excess and unserved food from locations throughout Walt Disney World, delivering it to feeding programs across Central Florida.
And Disneyland's doing the same thing.
They donate over 823,000 pounds of prepared but unserved food to Second Harvest annually. These meals are distributed to over 40 Orlando area nonprofits and have helped provide over 1 million meals. They did over 1 million meals last year.
Well, it's going to be even more now because all that food has to go.
A lot of food.
And we cannot waste it.
Kudos to Disney for having that program in place. That's fantastic.
Schools are going to supply lunches for kids still because of the food.
Yeah, you know what? There are situations. Stacy Rogers, welcome to the stream. There are places where school days, that's pretty much where kids get their food. Otherwise, they have to wait until a meal for dinner. Otherwise, they don't get breakfast or they don't get lunch.
Yeah,
it's sad but true. It's a reality in our country. We are a country of plenty, and yet there are still moments where there are people that are hungry.
Yeah.
So some of the schools are going to have places that are open for children to get their breakfast and or lunch during this closure of the schools. They are recommending that as many people stay home, but of course, there are still essential services that are needed. So that's one of those services. Also, after shocking news yesterday that all Disney College Program participant programs were going to be concluded immediately, and not just at Walt Disney World, but at Disneyland. Both resorts had their programs canceled altogether. Now, the participants in Disney World, they had their last day, their terminated program, but they had been blocked out of the parks. But this surprise opening is just for outgoing Disney College Program participants. They opened Hollywood Studios to them so they could go to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and enjoy the park today. So they were able to go to Hollywood Studios today. And that was just to outgoing college program participants. They had to just bring their blue Disney ID and housing ID to enter the park.
Yeah.
If you happen to see anyone from the college program cast members around the park today, if anyone's there at Hollywood Studios and you see them, just tell them thank you for the work that they did. It's been a tough day for them. It really has.
That's sad. I mean, everybody has to there's so many things stopping and going away because we don't know.
Yeah, so moderators, thank you for being here and helping me with my stream. I cannot do this without you. And also to my support channels, I've seen More Sunshine Please here today. Jim, thank you. Thank you for all your support. Richard, the Orlando guy, I saw him in earlier. Of
Pam,
course,
we love you too, Pam.
he stopped in to say hi. He is at Walt Disney World right now with Resort TV1 and Corey Meets World. They're doing their last live streams for a couple of weeks in the parks. And then, of course, we also have Two Real Geeks, Rob Fuzz, and D&G Explorers, also all three wonderful support channels for us. I mentioned it earlier, but if you have not yet checked it out, please go to Pepper Tree Villa. Check out the video I dropped this morning for Pie Day. We did Pie Day 2020, where we enjoyed some pizza and also some pie from Nations. The pizza was from Papa Murphy's, and it was a very good pizza. We really enjoyed it. Then Ben also dropped a video earlier on Thursday morning for, let's see, Breakfast at Nations. That's what it was. He did a video, so go check it out. Yay, a video. Yes, Pam. And I do have some more videos that are being edited right now. So be paying attention. Have those bells rung on your subscription so that you can see when a video goes live here on Pepper Tree Villa. And then finally, tomorrow night, the Disney Plus Movie Club makes its premiere on PTV Live. We are going to be enjoying a conversation about Darby O'Gill and the Little People. And all of you out there, please watch Darby O'Gill, join in on the fun, join our conversation, and then stick around also for trivia contest. We're going to be answering or asking questions of you, our villagers. Person that wins is going to be winning some stickers of PTV, our logo, and then also we're going to put that in the card. There's also going to be a little surprise card in there as well, just a small token of appreciation for participating in the trivia contest and winning for that night. The winner of the contest will be the one who answers the most questions correctly the fastest. And that'll be the fastest according to this stream here at PTV. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us today for this edition of the Daily Dose of Disney. I'll be back tomorrow with another edition. At 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. I wanted to do it earlier today so that it would not be in the way of other streams that are happening tonight from Walt Disney World. But everyone, enjoy the streams tonight. And by the way, have a magical evening. And as always, have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow with another edition of the Daily Dose of Disney.
Bye
everyone.
Thank you.